Okay, today in Basic Spanish, we're going to take a look at accent rules. We don't stress this a whole lot in our program because we expect you to know where accents are, and the accents are important, but it's kind of one more thing that you have to learn on top of everything else, which is why we don't stress it too much. But I'm going to teach you some basics here today, what accents mean and how they change pronunciation, etc. So let's take a word like universidad. So Spanish is pronounced phonetically, which means that you can break things down into use syllables, you can pronounce anything in Spanish. So ver, si, dav, right? Universidad. So words that end in N, S, or a vowel, the stress of the word should fall on the second to last syllable in these cases, right? So the stress of this word should be there. No, I'm wrong, sorry, because this ends in a D, right? Please ignore that. See, I make mistakes too. N, S, or a vowel. Well, it ends in a D. That's not an N, S, or a vowel, so the stress of the word should fall there. Universidad, right? You can hear the stress falling on dav. If the stress falls where it should fall based on these accent rules, you do not need an accent in your sentence. It's when the stress doesn't fall where it should fall that you need an accent. So let's try the word canción. So let's go canción. Let's say that's one syllable. So does it end in an N, S, or a vowel? Yes, it does. It ends in an N. So it should fall, the stress should fall over here. Now listen to me pronounce this. Canción. Where does the stress fall? Well, the stress actually falls over here. That's when you need an accent. And I already put the accent because I'm dumb apparently. You need an accent when the stress doesn't fall where it should fall. And that tells you that the word is pronounced differently than it should be. Canción. So knowing accent rules in Spanish depends on you knowing how a word is pronounced. And when you're learning the language, that can be quite tough. So my recommendation for now is just to, when you're learning a new word, if it has an accent, remember where the accent goes. And Spanish is easy because there's only one accent. That's it. You know, French has this, and the CV. That's an upside down question mark, never mind, the CV. Spanish only has one accent, and all it does is tell you what syllable the stress is, and accents only fall on top of vowels. That's it. So Spanish is quite easy in that respect. Some rules, so if you have a word that ends in ción or sion, there'll always be an accent over the O, always, unless it's plural, right? So let's compare. This is getting into the weeds a bit. Canción versus canciones, right? So this word up here, does it end in an N or an S or a vowel? Yes, so it should fall on the second to last syllable. Listen to the word canción. It doesn't. The stress falls here, so we need an accent, right? Listen to this. Does it end in an N or an S or a vowel? It does, so we're expecting the stress to fall on here, right? Listen to this. Canciones. Canciones. The stress does fall there, so we get to drop the accent when canción becomes plural. That's where it becomes a bit tricky. So that's what the accent means in Spanish. When you learn a new word, like I said, if it has an accent, remember where the accent goes. Technically, if it has an accent and you don't put an accent on it, it is spelled wrong. I'm not super picky on that though, but I will be if you go further in the language. And that's it today for Basic Spanish. Nos vemos.